Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm live to go ahead and take your questions and also to go ahead and bring a good topic for you today. So, today I'm going to be talking about which is better. Which is better, applying for the green card while you're in the U.S. or outside of the U.S.? And I'm not going to waste a lot of time dilly dallying with this question. My answer is applying from within the US through adjustment of status for the green card is the better option. I am telling you from the perspective of an attorney that represents both clients that are outside of the United States and clients who are in the United States. And I can tell you that the clients that are in the United States are far more happier. They're happier than my clients who are outside of the United States. And the main sticking point, the main point of misery for my clients who are outside of the United States is how long the process is taking. And of course, no attorney has control over the speed, the processing timelines. While while not having an attorney can make the processing times longer because of mistakes and delays and so forth, at the end of the day, I do prepare my clients who choose to apply for the green card from outside of the United States, or some clients don't have a choice, that they are looking at 18 to 24 months. And I am seeing processing times getting even longer, right? Wait times, especially for the interview at the embassy, at the embassy outside of the United States. So while it does differ from country to country, for the most part, I am seeing 18 to 24 months on average to get the green card if you're outside of the United States. So if you do have the luxury and the privilege to apply for adjustment of status, go for it. So this is what I'm going to tell you about adjustment of status, because not everyone who qualifies for the green card qualifies for adjustment of status, of course. So I want to tell you who can qualify for adjustment of status. Now, to stay in the United States and apply for the green card, you have to have you have to meet very specific criteria. So if you're applying through family, you have to make sure that you are applying through if you're applying through a US citizen spouse, a US citizen parent, and you're under 21 and unmarried, or you are applying through your adult citizen child who's age 21 and up, then and you're say you're here, you ended up overstaying, or say you're here currently on your visa, say you're visiting, even your visitor's visa, then adjustment of status, it could be an option for you. If you are the spouse of a permanent resident, you are the child of a permanent resident. And child, whether you're under 21 or you're over 21, you're here, your priority date is current. So the priority date is that date. It's the date where you filed your application, you first filed your application, and that's the date that they use on the wait list, right? So if it says it's current, it means it's your turn on the wait list. So that's the simplest way I can explain the priority date. But the priority date is going to be very important if you are the spouse of a permanent resident, or you're the child of a permanent resident, or you are the child of a US citizen, you're age 21 and up, and whether you're married or not, right? You're going to look at to make sure your priority date is current. If your priority date is current, then and you're currently here on your visa, or your status, say you're here on a student visa, or you're here on your visitor's visa, then and you have not overstayed the time yet, right? That you're still within the permitted time. Not now, the permitted time doesn't mean you have the 10 years and the 10 years hasn't gone by. Permitted time is the time that they've given you on your I-94, that you haven't overstayed that time. Then you can qualify for adjustment of status to stay here and apply for permanent resident. The benefits of adjustment of status, staying in the US and applying for the green card, is the benefits far outweigh the benefits of being outside of the United States. Your goal is to be with your family. Your goal is to start your life here in the United States. Your goal is to get even a head start on life in the United States. And the adjustment of status process gives you that opportunity because while you're here, you're able to get your work permit, you're able to get your travel documents. So you don't have to be stuck here waiting for the green card. If you need to run out of the country for a quick minute, you can do that with the travel document. So you can move forward. You can get your social security number to move forward with your life while you wait for them to make a decision on your permanent residence while you're going through the adjustment of status. The other benefit is that I am seeing processing times as short as 5 months and to a little over a year to get this done. Now, a few months to a year's worth of a process versus years worth of the process outside of the United States, that by itself makes it very obvious which one is better. It's going to be adjustment of status here. So, but not now. You cannot be outside of the United States and say, I think I'm going to go through the airport, travel to the US just to file for adjustment of status. You're not supposed to do that. However, if you are here already, you do have the ability to evaluate your options and then, or change your mind about staying and go through adjustment of status as long as you qualify to do this. So if you have that question in your head, which is better, staying in the US or and applying or going outside, um, apply inside of the United States. Of course, it all depends on your personal preferences as well. So you do have some individuals that, yes, adjustment of status does present great options, but they may have to still stay in their home country to tie up loose ends. They may be the caretaker for a family member who doesn't qualify to get the green card with them. They may need to travel. They may not be able to wait for the work permit and wait for the travel document. And they need to be in their country to possibly run a business or to work. And so they prefer to go through the consular, we call it consular processing when you're applying from outside of the United States. They prefer to do it that way. And the 18 to 24 months can buy them some time to tie up their loose ends before they get their green card and move to the United States. However, if you want to get with your family as soon as possible, you don't want to be separated from them, you want to start working as soon as possible, you want to get a head start on life as soon as possible, then adjustment of status is going to be the better option here. Now, whether you individually qualify for that is going to depend on your particular circumstances. And that's where the consultation is going to be essential here, because you should not be taking actions just solely on what I'm saying here, because it's general information. It's from a general, broad standpoint, and it's not tailored particularly for you, because, of course, I'm not your attorney and I haven't given you particular legal advice. So you can always go ahead, click on the link in the description of the video on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch to go ahead and schedule. You can schedule your own appointment right now if you like, or call the office to get assistance to schedule your appointment. You can also go to the website. There's a phone number. There is the online chat, and then there's a contact form. On Instagram, go to the link in the profile and you'll see everything you need to get started with us. You'll have the link to schedule your own appointment. You'll have the website link where you can go and do the contact form. You can fill out, call the number, or you can do the online chat. All three lead to the scheduling coordinators on the website who can help you to get started. Go ahead with the Easter weekend coming up. You want to be sure that you're on my schedule sometime next week, because remember, it's Easter weekend coming up. So you want to be sure to get that out of the way. And with current happenings in immigration law, now is the time to evaluate your options and get started. So treat it with urgency and treat it, make it a priority. All right. So now I'm going to answer questions. I've said my piece very quickly. And once again, go ahead and apply for adjustment of status. As long as you get the personalized legal advice, you've determined you qualify, that's going to be the better option if you want to get a head start on life in the US. There are many benefits to getting adjustment of status. The main one is shorter. My clients who are outside of the United States, many of them have to be dealing with the lengthy delays, and that's just a fact. It has nothing to do with how, with their particular circumstances, they're just in line to get the interview. And this is taking 18 to 24 months, and sometimes longer in some places. All right. So let's answer questions. Go ahead. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Instagram right now. Put your questions in the comments, and I already see a ton of questions coming in on Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions. So bear with me as I scroll through to look at those questions, and put your questions in so I can get to them as soon as I scroll down. Hi there, Shervon. Good afternoon. Uh, Happy Tuesday, Cooking with Nikki. What does it mean, 131 case closed? So if it's closed, it means that they've made a decision. So they've made a decision. There's some decision that has been made, and they've closed out your case. So you want to call them to find out. If you haven't received a notification, you want to find out what's going on there. How long does it take to get Greencard after interviews of FAWA? So it depends. If the officer has not made a decision, so usually you'll get notification that it has been approved for adjustment of status, and shortly thereafter you'll get your Greencard. If you haven't received any notification of approval, then they may request more additional information before making a decision. Sometimes they're reviewing additional information before making a decision. So it all depends. If you were approved at the interview or shortly thereafter, then the Greencard, usually it can take anywhere from a week to a month to get to you. Uh, Okay, so my EAD finally approved on April 1st, 2023, after waiting. So usually if you're applying for your work permit at the same time as your travel document, it will come together. So if you look at the bottom of your document, you will see whether you're authorized for travel or not. If you're not authorized for travel, that means that they have not issued the travel document with your work permit. If you are, it's going to say that it serves as advanced parole on the bottom of that card, that work permit card. So if you see that, that means they've made a decision, they've approved it, and you have a travel document. If not, then you'd have to contact them to find out what's going on with that travel document. When you get approved, when you get approved for the I-130, what's next? So if you're outside of the United States, it's going to be moved to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center is like the middleman between you, the petitioner, and the U.S. Embassy in your country. They prepare everything, so they work with you to prepare everything. And then rather, we work with the NVC to prepare everything. Remember, the NVC isn't there to advise you or help you out. They're just there to collect documentation. and review those documents. And it can be a frustrating process with the NVC. But at that point, you're going to get notification when the NVC is ready to process your case, by the way. It might not be right after the approval. If you don't have a current priority date, then it may take years. So the NVC will definitely get in touch with you when they're ready to process your case. Then they start to collect documentation and then schedule you for the interview. The length of time it takes is going to depend on who you're applying through. You're welcome, Cooking with Nikki. All right. So go ahead, put those questions in the comments. I will gladly answer those questions. If not, then I can meet with you tomorrow again to answer questions and also to bring another topic to you. So go ahead, last chance to put your questions in the comments. Now, while I wait for more questions to come in, hi there, Kamoya. I'm going to go ahead and tell you once again how to get in touch with me. So I'm U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I represent clients all over the United States and the globe. So no matter where you are, I can assist you. So go ahead. You can find the link to schedule your own appointment. You don't need to call. It's really easy. You can find that link in the description of the video on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Go to the link in the profile. You'll see everything you need there. If you want to go ahead, oh, great, Kamoy, I can't wait to speak with you. Now, if you would like to go ahead and call the office to speak with someone first, you're free to do that, and they'll be more than happy to assist you with a consultation. Do that before Easter, because Easter is coming up. Other than Easter, so we may not be available to schedule your appointment. The call center is open 24/7, but the scheduling coordinators will be out on Easter, on Friday, on Thursday and Friday. And so, if you want to get in with a consultation, make sure that you do it today or tomorrow so that you can get into my schedule next week. When you call, they will be able to assist you. You can also go to the website if you want to learn more about me, learn what I do, learn about the different areas that I focus on. You can go to the website by clicking on the link in the profile. It's all there. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you and assisting you soon. So in the meantime, let me answer some more questions. My sister filed for, I think that's me, in Jamaica. Okay, so if your sister filed for you, it's approved. Unfortunately, if you're a US citizen, sister filed for you, it's taking 14 years. So it's taking a while for siblings to file for siblings, unfortunately. If you get pregnant in the VAWA process, will it affect you? So not no. So it's not going to necessarily affect you. Now, if you get pregnant and say it contradicts the facts of your case, right? So if it contradicts, for example, if you get pregnant and then that indicates that there was some sort of infidelity, then that can possibly affect the credibility of your statement, of your application, just depending on the timing of the pregnancy. It can indicate that maybe it wasn't a bona fide marriage if you do have a pregnancy for someone else. So say this is a spousal situation, right? Say this is a spousal situation where the spouse was mistreating you. Then you get pregnant maybe shortly during the marriage or shortly thereafter, and then you file for FAWA. Turns out that the baby is not of the spouse that was mistreating you. then that could the USCIS could definitely, if they do find that fact out, which they have a record of your children, they do know that you have children with other last names or with a different parent. They can also look at public records and find this information out. And if they do see that the timing is off, that you did get pregnant and you had a baby for someone else in the middle of a marriage that was that in the middle of a marriage, then there could definitely be questions. However, we have overcome issues like this. This is not necessarily something that this is not a strange fact pattern, but we do have to look at timing. And in the situation that we overcame, it was because these are complex situations, and when you do have abuse or separation in the marriage, the individual moves on. You may have the person who applied for VAWA may have moved on, or they may have found comfort in someone else or found another companion during the abusive situation with their spouse. So it just depends on timing. But generally, having a child while you're applying for VAWA is not necessarily going to affect it. But when you're dealing with a spousal situation, it could, where having the baby, and depending on whose baby it is, could reflect on the credibility of the case. All right. Well, that was a complex one, and I guess it all depends, right? What if your husband abandons you for a year? So if your spouse is abandoning you, that amount and abandons you for a year. I don't know if they returned but ghosting a spouse is definitely a sign of some mistreatment and extreme cruelty. So when I hear about abandonment, it usually is the beginning of a VAWA case, but I do have to evaluate further what other aspects of the marriage, what was the pattern of behavior against the immigrant spouse in the marriage, to determine whether abandonment alone does amount to qualifications for VAWA, right? But abandonment is a common trait. It is a common trait when in qualifying for VAWA. It's one of those things that many of my clients do have to face with their U.S. citizen or resident spouse, is abandonment. So go ahead. The way you're going to know whether you qualify is to go ahead and schedule an appointment, and we can talk more about what transpired in your marriage and determine whether VAWA is the best option for you. All right. So I don't see any more questions. Thanks so much for your questions today. I am going to be back tomorrow at around lunchtime. I know I'm a little late today, but around lunchtime tomorrow, I should be back, and I'll be ready to answer those questions. And I'll also bring a topic for you tomorrow. All right. So have a good one. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.